What's up, everybody? Let's see how long it takes for the camera to turn on. Good job hitting the 10 likes before the stream started. Hi, everybody. Enjoy looking at the EOS webcam utility while I describe to you in this entirely audio-based Patreon live stream exactly what I'm doing in immense detail. I'm trying to turn off the camera method again. That time I left it off for like a minute. I think OBS is like, we need a new computer and we need a new camera. We need both of those things. Because even replacing the camera isn't going to fix our slowdowns. Hey, look at that. It's like randomly off to the side, as usual. But it's here. So that's good. There we go. Better. Good, not great. So, Jimmy has been hassling me about doing these mugs for him for a really long time. I finished the names before we started Millijule today, but his Extreme LED Signs logo needs to go on the other side. Yes, he has a laser, but he doesn't know how to use rotary tools. And he doesn't, he just doesn't know how to use rotary tools. And he doesn't own one. And he wanted to buy one to do these, and I was like, dude, just give it to me. Like, I'm going to do it so much faster than you're going to be able to do it. So, we are going to engrave his logo for him. I love OBS too. But my laptop does not. That's kind of the difference. All right, so we're just going to get right to work today, guys. We got a lot to do. As usual. I probably shouldn't even be doing a Patreon live stream today. I should probably just be working, because we're not quite caught up. We made such a big fuss about being caught up last week, and the bombs all just dropped at once, guys. It was pretty bad, but I'm back. We're caught up, mostly. We should be doing pretty good. Let's see, print or web? Let's look at inversion and original. Let's see what we get in here. Oh, okay. Let's see which we like better. Let's get these blue. What do you guys think? I'll let you pick. Am I out of focus? I don't know if I'm out of focus. I don't think I'm out of focus. No, this is about as sharp as I get. Dean says, I know you're not a fan, but can you do 2 on the CO2 and 1 on the fiber? Yeah, we can do that. Everybody's saying right. We like the right one. Okay. As you wish. You're paying for it. That's going to be... Hello.
Hello.
Picking up or dropping off?
Picking up. What do you got? That box with the tree on it.
Oh, man, yes. So excited to show you this. You're going to freak out.
Oh, yes.
How cool is that, right?
She'll love it. I'm sure.
It doesn't get much better than that. That's basically the textbook result right there. Give me 27 for you. Would you like a receipt today?
Sure, why not? You had no trouble getting it mounted or anything in there?
Not at all.
Now, just so I understand
Mm-hmm.
your pricing and
Yeah,
everything,
sure.
if I had brought in, say, 3 boxes, would it have been $25 for each box?
It'd probably be more like 15 for 3 pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, probably more like 15. I try to be reasonable. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the minimum for anything.
Right.
Is 20.
Oh no, I
So, yeah.
understand that.
But yeah,
That's
they'd
not
be
a
a little
problem.
they'd be a little cheaper.
And the more boxes I brought in,
That's-
as long as they were the same design.
Right, and the same setup. So like because we kind
Okay.
of very specifically spaced things here,
Okay,
you know.
so it all
so
have
it
to
would,
be
if
the
it was in
same,
the same spot.
the same size box, and I would want the thing in the
Yeah,
same
and if
place.
we're don't get me wrong, if we're doing a few different boxes, if you're still bringing me like 3 or 4, there's still going to be a reduction in price.
Okay.
It just might be not as much. It's mostly about the setup. I don't like charge like when we're doing text. I don't charge for like letter or word or anything. I think that's stupid. I hate that. It's more about how many times I have to touch the stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like get things set up. So that's kind of how the pricing works. But
All right.
okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
Good. Thank you very much.
Glad you liked it. We'll see you next time. Did you want your
Oh, the
references
receipt.
back?
Yeah, I asked for it.
Oh, I gave you the receipt.
Oh, I
Would you
took
like
my.
the-
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, sure.
You
There you go.
don't need to hang on.
Alrighty. Have a good one. Oh, wouldn't be a Patreon live stream if we weren't starting with a customer, right? So anyway, we have to get this sized because that's going to be much too big. So let's see. 2 inches is going to be too big. I think 1 3/4 will be perfect. We will do the black on the fiber. We will do the purple ones on the CO2. That way, at least if they're different, I mean, they're different mugs, not like perfectly different, but they're different enough that if there's a difference in the mark, it'll look convincing. So I think 1 1/4 would be fine. In millimeters, that would be 35, 40 millimeters. 40 millimeters. Oop, yikes. Let's lock our proportions on that. Let's go height 40. Yeah. And our mouth of our cup is going to be over here on the right, so we want to just tilt that right. And then we need a couple spacer boxes because that is still a problem. I have not fixed that yet. So let's get our spacers in there. Let me know in the chat if you have to do this. Does anybody have to do this, or do your rotaries just work perfectly? I'm really curious. All right, yellow and recently corrected turquoise. Yellow is first. And that looks pretty good. We'll start in the center. We'll call it extreme. I've already got the rotary tool set up because, like I said, I did the names already. MW3 Designs. Hey, is this live? Yes, it certainly is. And yes, these are for Jimmy. Right. Okay, so just catching up on the chat. So we'll just pop these suckers in. We need to make sure that this is on the bottom, and the way I like to do it. the way I like to do it. The way I've been doing it is with this reflective spoon. And I just kind of stick it underneath, and then I can see when the existing text is between the rollers on the bottom side. But I do have a project. I have this stuff. You see that? Look at that. This is acrylic mirror sheet. And if we take a look on the corner here, let me make this big so you guys can actually see it. If we take a look on the corner here, you will see this is actually like mirror. All right, look at that. This would be great for just cutting out basically a panel that can sit under our rotary tool at all times. It'll just sit underneath our rotary tool and we'll be able to see up from the bottom. So I really want to do that. That might be a good video. I might actually like make a quick video about that, but this would be very nice for that. So but do we have time for things like that today? No. Of course we don't. We need to work. We have work to do. So let's go to, oh yeah, oh man, I don't know if you guys remember this, but we set up this whole thing for the fiber laser, but it's not formatted. It's not formatted for CO2. Should we do that real quick? Maybe we should set that up. So let's make a copy of this. Let's duplicate it. We'll call it CO2. Okay. And let's bring it up here. Fiber. All right. So now we need to, let's arrange things a little bit differently. So it's not too bad. There we go. There's our settings panel. And I guess that's all we really need. We don't need this one. We don't need this one. And we can move this over here and center up our laser cam, and that should be good. So now you guys can see what we're doing. Well, there's not really any relevant information anywhere else on the screen. So we can move our cuts and layers up a little bit, I think. Yeah. That's nice. That works. I think we'll leave that the way it is. We need to find our webcam. As usual, it's just like sitting on the floor somewhere. Ugh, I got it. Oh, I'm dropping it. Okay, I'm going to fix that in a second. I need to put it on the tripod. Hold on. Trying to get my life in order over here. I'd love to do this kind of crap before we start recording, but we just, I just have a very large lack of time in my life, so we're going to have to do it live. Alright, got that all screwed on. What's... Oh, it's a little window. Okay, boom. There we go. Much better. I think that's a pretty solid view right there. So now we'll just pop this in approximately the correct location. Get our lights on so we can see our reflection okay. And then we'll get our spoon. Old spoony here. Oh, it's really hard to see. I might need more light, maybe from the phone. Phone light really helped. Okay, so with that lit up, that's it, guys. We've already got our powder coat removal setting in from earlier. And we can run this bad boy. The spoon is so that I can see the reflection of the text on the other side of the cup and know that the cup is 180 from our starting point. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to switch back to the crappy fiber view. I'm kind of curious. We had Hatch, Mark, EOS, Count, Browser. What was this browser one? Oh, that was our patrons. Let's go to interact. Hold on. I want to fix this. There we go, look at that. Can we see that from the top? No. I think we can do this better. Hold on. We'll get it fixed, guys. It moved. What moved? Oh, I thought you meant the part moved. I freaked out for a minute. Alright, this will be a little easier to keep loaded up every time we start a stream here. Is it about the same size? A little smaller? Yeah. Alright, now that can sit over there. We can leave the camera here, and now I can reference this. So let's do rename. We'll call this patrons, and then I can copy a reference, copy, and we can come back to our CO2 view. Oh, well, that's just messed everything up, hasn't it? Oh, right, display. There we go. And we can paste our reference here. There it is. Size it out. And there we go. What do you guys think of that? Do you like that setup? Why not engrave this on the fiber? The CO2 is much better at engraving tumblers than a fiber laser. Powder coated ones specifically. Because the CO2 doesn't engrave the metal. So when we clean these, we're going to have a nice shiny brushed steel underneath the engraving. Because the CO2 didn't do anything to damage the steel. It's a big pain in the butt. CO2 is much better for removing powder coat. If this was a steel tumbler, that might be different. An argument can be made for fiber on steel tumblers. If you don't want to deal with like Brilliance laser ink. Though, if I'm being completely honest, I still prefer Brilliance laser ink right now over anything I can do with the fiber. I've seen some nice stuff done on the fiber on steel tumblers, but I think I still prefer Brilliance for now. But we'll see. But normally the CO2 is my go-to for tumblers, man. It's just easy. Like, it just takes the least amount of input from me. And it's far less finicky on like things like focus and leveling. We'll see when we get that Galvo CO2 set up. We'll see how that does with tumblers. Probably really well, if I had to guess. But we still got to get the new Galvo head installed on that. They sent me the wrong power supply. So Mactron is sending me a replacement for 110 because they sent me a 220 non-switching power supply. So the servos in the 10mm Galvo heads draw 2 amps, and the servos in the 20mm head draw 5. So, significantly more power draw on those. I was going to try to get away with it, but I was just like, no. There we go. We're in our second spacer, so we can stop it early and put the other one in now. There it is. Not cleaned yet. We'll clean it up, but that looks pretty good. We'll clean these when we're done with all of them. All right, here we go, number 2. Yep, somebody actually just left me a comment on YouTube asking about the Galvo CO2. I'm going to respond to it. We're going to use voice to text because I don't want to type that much. Hey Harold, comma. Galvo CO2 videos are coming really soon, comma. They sent me the wrong power supply with the upgraded head, so we're just waiting for a replacement to come in, and then we can go ahead and get started on that. Exclamation point. Boom. Answering comments. Here's a question for you guys. I'm going to drop a poll so that it can be anonymous. I don't want anybody being embarrassed. Let's see. Let's see who can be honest about this, okay, guys? Come on. I want some honesty here on this poll. Nice job, Brent. Good work with the weight loss, man. That's awesome. Yeah, man, that sounds like it would do the trick. "92% of you are the big spoon?" That seems like some bullshit. I don't even believe that. I think you guys are full of it. I asked for honesty here and you guys are throwing it in my face. Bro, I'm a shameless. Sorry, I'm stuffing a muffin into my face because I get to eat for 3 seconds. I'm a shameless. Oh my god, I can't swallow. That's what she said. I am a shameless little spoon. Shameless. I know I asked for honesty, Dean, but that's a little too honest. I like how 5 people couldn't even answer. 5 people didn't even want to vote. Couldn't share their spooning secrets. I can't believe you guys are gonna make me do this other tumbler on the fucking fiber laser. That sucks. It's gonna take so much longer. Who asked if we could do this on the fiber? Because they're gonna see why. Or somebody asked me why I would prefer the CO2. They're about to find out why. I got a story for you. Here's a true story, Tyler. True story. True story. My wife and I met on OkCupid. That's the dating app we used when we met each other. And my profile said, "I'm only 5'8", I'm a small guy, but it's really useful when I'm being chased by predators. I can fit into small spaces that they can't get into." My profile actually said that, and she liked it, man. I own being a small dude. David met his wife on OkCupid also. You know what, dude? Best dating app. Highly recommend. It did a really good job matching us. That's right. You got to be unique. Stand out in your own way, man. It took me a long time to be comfortable with myself, especially comfortable enough to be on YouTube. Forget about it. I'm a tiny guy. I'm a tiny little dude. I talk with a ridiculous lisp that I've never been able to fix. I can't even say ridiculous lisp. Ugh. But you just gotta own it, man. Alright, 2 done. I guess we're going to the fiber animals. Lionel, I've got some bad news for you, bro. We are tiny little men. That's just a fact. We're gonna have to accept it. Oh, now the camera just turns on. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Hate to break it to you. We can close Lightburn now. I suppose we're done with that. And we will just, we have to turn on the fiber. And we can open EasyCAD. Alright, EasyCAD will open, and then this should autofill. Let's see. Let's see if our little screen crops here fill in. Oh, look at that. Brilliant. Oh, I thought we were doing it on the rotary. I thought you guys wanted fiber rotary action. Are we doing it on the rotary, or are we doing it flat? Because if we're doing it flat, it's going to be really small. I'll just, okay, here we go. Let's do it again. I'm gonna leave that for a minute, and then I will come back to it. While I load I'll look at it when I load the artwork up. Jimmy's been asking me to do these mugs for him for like a really long time. %89 of you say rotary, so I suppose we're going rotary. Here is the graphic. Very, very big. So let's make that much smaller. I think we landed at 40 millimeters. So let's just go like a little bit bigger on this one. It's a little much. How about just 50? Oh God, proportions. So annoying. Why don't you know what I want before I want it? 50. Boom. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is rotate this. But we can't do it with the grabby. So we're going to have to do control and tap, which is going to take forever. We turned it to the right for the CO2 because that's where the clamp is on the CO2. But for the fiber, we're going to have to do it left because that's where the chuck's going to sit. And we'll center that up. And then we're going to hatch it. We're going to do a unidirectional hatch. We're going to do a 0-degree angle on that unidirectional hatch. We're going to disable hatch number 2. Make sure hatch number 3 is disabled. So that looks good. And we will hit OK. And that's going to load up there. Now, I kind of want to... Should we... Do you do your own graphic design or do you have a website? I do a little bit of both. So we're mostly set up here, but we do have to, now this is the part that takes a really long time. We have to go set up the rotary tool. So let's go do that BS. So the first thing we have to do is actually mount the rotary tool, and then when the rotary tool is mounted, we need to straighten the rotary tool, and then when the rotary tool is straightened, we can set up our cup. I'm thinking that we should maybe try like a defocused mark on this to see if we can just remove the powder coat, because I haven't tried that yet. There's been a lot of talk about that on the Discord lately. But in theory, if we defocus enough, we should be able to just remove the powder coat without actually engraving the cup, and that would be ideal. So we're going to try that today. This is a very, very thin powder coat, so it should be easy to get through. So I have a few notes on what I just did there. First of all, a lot of people ask me why I don't screw those down by hand all the way until they get tight and then tighten them with the Allen. And it's because when the bolt is coming out the bottom side of the table, it gets stuck. So you have to use the Allen wrench to get it past the point where it gets stuck. Then you can finish tightening it by hand. And then you can do the final tighten with the Allen wrench again, which is a big pain in the butt. The second thing people ask me all the time is, why do you even bother bolting it down? And it's because when I loosen the angle adjustment so that we can get the cup level, it's basically, it's going to be impossible to straighten without moving it because of the weight of the chuck. So those are kind of the two reasons why this is more difficult than it needs to be, and there's not really any way around it. It'd make a lot more sense if I was going to go through this kind of work to do it, you know, to do it if I was going to do a bunch of pieces, but I'm not. So next thing we need to do, and we're going to come over here to the desktop view, is remove this. We'll see if EasyCAD wants to cooperate, or just maybe it'll just crash because EasyCAD. Okay, there it goes. And now we can grab our line tool. We're just going to make a straight line across our workspace like this. And make sure that's nice and center. And we're going to light that line up. And this is going to be our straight line. So we want our keyboard in hand when we're doing this. Trying to keep you guys straight here. And we're gonna just get our, this is just a pipe from the local hardware store, works pretty well. And we want to bite the pipe. Next, want two things. We want to make sure that our line is straight down the middle of the pipe this way, and we want to make sure it's in the middle. So I've got my keyboard over here. I'm just going to use the arrow keys to bring our center line down to where it's in the middle. And of course, I still have OBS selected, so let me select EasyCAD. And arrow keys. Now, if you can see here, our line is right down the center. Okay, so we took our line from like over here and we brought it in line. And it looks nice and straight because our table is straight, so that's good. So now, what we're going to do is come back to here. We've got our straight line. We're going to paste our Extreme LED Signs logo in, and we're going to right click here, modify a line, and I believe this is going to be vertical center, horizontal center. There we go. And now it's right on that line. So now we know that's perfect. So now all we really need to do is get this onto the cup. So we'll cut that one more time. And we'll just kind of make a box so that we know about where we want this to go. This is more for like left and right, not up and down. So we can light this now. We'll come back over to the fiber. You can see our outline is like way up here on top of the rotary, so we need to come way over to the right. We're way too close to that. We should probably get our cup in. Let's get our cup in now. Alright, so now we've got a good target. So let's just bring this way over. Maybe to like here-ish. And we'll light that instead. We're closer. We still do need to come over to the right just a little bit more. It's still really close to the top up here. So let's bring this one more time, guys. Let's bring this back in and we'll come just like meh, that looks good, and meh, kind of like that, and light, and one last time. That looks much better, but we have to now level it because it's not level. So let's get our stare on there. And that's nice and level now, so we should be able to, last but not least, right, we'll come in here, we'll paste our Extreme LED Signs thing in. Remember, this box isn't straight with anything, so we don't care about the up and down, we only care about the left and right. So we'll just shift and click here. We're going to do Modify, Align, Vertical Center. And that's going to snap that down to our boxes. We can delete the box, we can light the snake, and make sure that it's showing up where it's supposed to on the cup. And that's looking pretty good. Now, focus-wise, we have to focus next. I'm thinking a defocus on this, just to try it. I really want to see. I've got more of these, so if this one doesn't come out, then we can try another one, but I'd like to see how we can do with the defocus. So I defocused with our Z-Mark Plus 3 chip, and now I am adding 1 extra millimeter to it, so we're even a millimeter further than we would have been. And hopefully this defocuses us enough that we're not interacting with the metal. But we will see. And with all of that done, I think the last thing we need to do is just make sure that the text on the other side is center, and we should be good to go. Hello.
Hello.
Picking up or dropping off?
Dropping off.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I got those 35 long boxes for you.
Oh, super. Great. Excellent. You need a hand in with those?
You got a little part here.
Yeah, it's a little baby, but it'll do something.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, you don't have to. I can do it. I got a card. It took me 3 clicks.
Sorry guys, I will be right back. Somebody just dropped off 35 8-foot long extruded 4-inch by 4-inch aluminum pipes, I guess. So I'm just trying to get those into the shop, and then I'll be back and we can continue where we left off.
Okay.
Alright, sweet man.
Your last name?
Salidi, S-C-L-L-I-T-E.
Okay, thanks for your help. I really appreciate
I
it.
appreciate you, dude. Thank you very much. I got one. Exercise today. Okay. Alright, let me get your file. We'll get you out of here. Everything went swimmingly as usual. It's the standard stack here are these special pieces. SAT, and then the RG, or the RGSM. So I just took the standard dots and just brought them in.
Yeah,
That should fit for what you need it to do.
absolutely.
How many usually charging these days?
These are
Like-
7.
Yeah, they're just $7.
Oh, but that looks phenomenal. The SAT. Really. Great,
Yeah, that Corbell's a very simple font. I always feel weird putting it on there because you're usually a little more elaborate than that, but that's what they want, right?
Yeah,
And that's what they're gonna get.
this one. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That SAT, that looks phenomenal. That looks great. Nice. Very nice. And quick.
My specialty.
And these things drive me insane. I'll never know. Just
Yeah.
they call and they say, okay, this, okay, that. And then they'll have 3 different sizes. So the plates are, they'll have 3 different putter, like a mallet, a blade, and a V-mallet. So these 3 different sizes of this. Like, I was thinking the other day, I said, I ought to just leave a couple of blanks here with you. Because I drive in from Canandaigua every time for one.
Yeah.
I ought to just leave a couple of blanks and just say, okay,
Shoulder 'em up.
center,
Right. Yeah.
center this, center that.
Yeah.
But, this one was different. I obviously had to make that one, but this is different. This is the one we're playing. I'll see how. And probably Christmas, people are gonna start. They'll probably wait till the first week of December, and then they're gonna want stuff engraved. Then I'm gonna get them into trouble because you're gonna be really busy.
Be a little busy. I'll also have my wife here then, so they should start picking up a little bit here
try
too,
to
just
turn,
speed-wise.
to turn around,
Yep.
like the day or two that I need them. I realize that puts a lot of ink in
I think it'll be fine. I don't really know much about it. It's going to be 113.40 for you today.
Okay.
Seriously, I'm going to have a second pair of hands in here really soon and show you how to help out. So.
Well, your wife's gonna be busy with her hands, isn't she, with a new person?
Baby's going to be here, man. We're going to bring her in. Gonna hang out and get a little pack and play, throw in the corner. You know how I do it with the kids. It'll be fun. There you go, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Looks like you got a few days worth of heavy duty aluminum.
Yeah, it's not going to be fast, but it'll pay well.
You're able to put, you have to set that rod up in your machine on your
On the fiber, just like yours, just bigger.
and you have room to do that?
Just enough. We've already did a sample one for them, so just enough
What
room.
you do?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
You got it, man.
Always a pleasure.
See you next time.
All right. What's going south quick? I made it all the way to 12:18 in the afternoon without taking my sweater off today, and now I'm hot and sweating. It's nice and cool outside, but I can't open the window because I have exhaust jammed into it. All right, there goes the sweater. Rest in peace, ugly sweater. All right, let's see. The CO2 does one pass. I don't need to do anything else to that. It's definitely hitting autumn up here, Alex. Yeah, it's hitting autumn here too. It's nice and cool outside. It's very nice outside right now. But in here, I'm like 100 degrees. What are these tattoos? It's RBG and CMYK because I have a design background before I started laser. And this is that's an angry ex-girlfriend tattoo that I got, Black Widow, when I was 18 because I was angry at my ex. But yeah, RGB, CMYK, they're old, they're fading. They need a touch up. Eddie Jones is sending me DMs. My wife is sending me TikToks to watch. Customers are demanding my attention on stuff that I don't particularly care about right now. Okay, so where were we? The rotary tool. We defocused 4 millimeters. I'm gonna forget something now. Why is this poll still going? We are deep into rotary territory. I should end that. We defocused, we leveled. Oh, we need to make sure that the existing text is center on the back. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that real quick. So we'll see if this lines up well or not, but you guys can't see this. This is not even remotely close to wide enough. You'll just have to take my word for it. But I need to make sure that this is center underneath. There's no real easy way to do this. That actually looks really good right there where I just laid it. So that seems fine. So, all right. So we're defocused. We need exhaust. This is never going to stay here the way I want it to, but hold on. should do it. It's not amazing, but should be just enough to hold it there. So there's the exhaust. I just kind of taped it to the edge there. So that should hold. Now for power. We're doing this live right now, guys. For power, we are going to need something not too strong. We don't want what we would normally use. We definitely want to go weaker. But how much weaker is the question. I'm thinking 40 power, 1000 speed, 25 frequency. Let's turn this up. Let's go to 200. We don't want to affect the metal. We don't want to affect the metal. That's the point here. So let's try this. 1040, 200. 200's too much. 150. Should be good. And then really quick, we will just pop back to the desktop here. Modify. No. Laser. Rotary mark. A split size of, let's see, 0.025 doubled would be 0.05. Should be fine. Oop, double point in there. 0.5. That should be good. We don't need the split. We don't need marked by split line. Part diameter we should probably set. I'm still not convinced it does anything, but we'll go get it really quick. It is a very approximate 83 millimeters. And that should be it. So with that set, we should be able to mark. Let's get the exhaust on and run this son of a bitch. So if you can't already tell, this is a ridiculously extra amount of work. Wild Bill says part diameter totally does something. I believe you. I just don't know what. But I do it every time anyway. Yeah, this amount of work for the mark we're going to get is not going to be very good. But let's see if we can mark this without marking the metal. I think 40 power, 1000 speed. We should be real close. One last thing. Last time here, I just want to double check that our other hatches are off, and they are. So that's good. They've been like turning back on kind of weirdly for me lately, which is annoying. But let's go back to rotary mark one more time. 0.05 split size. Part diameter is good. And I think we're ready to go. So let's give it a shot and see how it does. Broken snake, yeah, normally, but I'm trying not to mark the metal here. I think unidirectional is our best bet for that. Bidirectional keeps the metal hotter because the laser is in the same spot closer together. If we have to start back at the beginning of each line before we hit the next line, the metal has more time to cool down, thus decreasing the likelihood that we are going to see ablation. So far so good, but we won't know if we're doing kind of like a steel white finish on it or if we're truly not marking the metal. So far so good though. We can't see close to it. We don't know what kind of lineage we're getting. We're gonna have to look at it, but it does look promising. If we nailed this on the first time, I'm gonna freak out because I've never tried this before. It's going pretty quick too, which is nice, that it's fast. Fiber rotary run times can be pretty slow. Yeah, but again, like the setting that works on this cup, this powder coat is so much thinner than the powder coat on like the purple cups because they're different brands. So like what works on this one isn't necessarily going to work on the purple one sitting next to me. Kyle is zoned in. It's looking good, guys. I'll show you the close-up in a minute. I would assume you're going to measure in the center of where the graphic is going to fall, Dean. Which is what I did. I don't know, that looks pretty shiny, fellas. So, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. Let's switch over to the Just Me. We're going to give it the standard treatment, okay? So the front of this we did on the CO2, the back of it we did on the fiber. I think we could probably lower the power just a little bit more. I think the power still might be just a touch high. Oh, come on, camera. Don't do this to me now. Before the big reveal. Okay, there we go. So, a little alcohol first. We're gonna do both sides at the same time here. A little alcohol. Flip it over. A little alcohol. And then we'll finish it with some Zep. Quick Zep job. Guys, that's shiny. It's really good. Hello.
Hiya.
Picking up or dropping off?
Picking up, please.
Which order was it?
For Kazera. A little late.
Oh yeah.
Sorry I missed your call yesterday.
Oh, that's okay. Gotcha, right here. Came out lovely. Looks beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Have a
Thank you
shine
so
to it.
much.
Yeah, no problem. You're gonna love it. There you go. There's that for you. I do whatever you want. Whatever you want. It's gonna be 27 for you after tax. Like copy this today? Everything look good? You're happy with it?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
No problem. You said no receipt? There you go. If you need anything else, alright, you come see me
I
again.
have your card. I'm very sorry about that.
Thank you so much. Another thing you could do, if you're really happy, is you could go on Google Maps. If you ever go on Google Maps, there's like a little button that leaves a review. That's where everybody finds us. Google Maps. So if you want to still review on Google Maps, very the tension is real right now. Did this for real move? Like, I just fixed this. Okay, you guys ready to see it? Here we go. Here is the CO2 side. Let me see, let's just get it nice and close. So there's the, hold on, overhead light. There you go, that should light this a little better. There's the CO2 side. Okay, not the cleanest edges, but a nice shiny metal on there. So CO2, let's flip it over, here we go. Fiber. Okay guys, you can do it. I literally just made these settings up off the top of my head, and it came out perfect. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. No lines, no split mark lines on that. Alright, that's about as clean as you could possibly hope to get this. Yeah, defocusing is the key. You don't want a fine point, because a fine point's going to mark the metal. Defocus and low power. And high frequency. The frequency really helped us out too. So here's the thing, okay? This is important. So pay attention. The higher frequency you have, the faster the laser is pulsing. And the faster the laser pulses, the less energy can fit into each pulse. Okay, that makes sense. So we want a low energy mark if we're not trying to mark the metal. And that's really the goal with these metal cups, is that we don't want to mark the metal. So the high frequency is very important. That looks good, guys. That's honestly, that's fucking solid. So what I'm gonna do is I will save this setting in the library. We'll save this setting in the library right now. We'll come over here, we'll save current param as, and we'll call it F powder coat light. Okay, the caps is maybe a little excessive. Light, powder coat light. We're probably going to need more power for heavier powder coat. So, you know, we can come back to that later, but F powder coat light, there it is in the parameter library. Okay. And that will load up now. So we'll make that addition for October when we put out October's parameters. I'm impressed too. Like I said, I'm not kidding. It wasn't for dramatic effect. I've never tried to do this before. And that's really clean. It looks really good. Is it center? Oh man, it's so center too. Check this out, look. There it is. And then this is the flip test, I call it, where you flip it. I mean, that's really close, right? So there's that. And we flip. That's super awesome. So it can be done. We've got two more of these. We're just got to do these up real quick. I wish I had an extra Yeti one with the thicker powder coat on it, so that we could test these settings on something like that, but we do not, so. Yeah, good thing some random stranger requested this job. That's the fun part about the Patreon live streams. We have a little more time to kind of dick around and mess with some new stuff. I still, you know, actually the CO2 kind of botched these. Not really, but it didn't quite make it through all of the paint. It's fine though. I mean, they're for Jimmy, so who gives a shit, but Yeah, I don't know. The CO2 laser didn't like the purple. I'm assuming that's what the problem was, because I do these all the time, and I rarely have an issue, but these ones, it just doesn't seem to have really burnt through the paint the way it should have. And I'm assuming it's because they're purple. I'll show you this one too. So here is the purple one, and if you look, it's hard for you guys to see, but I can see it clear as day. Right there, see in the neck of the snake, we've got some lines. So those lines are actually purple. I don't know if you can tell looking at it on the screen like this, but those lines are actually purple, and it's just, it didn't quite burn all the paint up. But that may have been just the color of the cup. I'll make a note for next time to make sure we turn the power up for purple ones. This is also, for the record, why it's important to continue to be a patron and not just take the settings and run, because all of this shit has context. I think that's a thing a lot of people don't understand, is that like just the parameter library isn't going to do that much for you. There's contextual things that make a difference. But you guys know that. Is it the tongue of the snake? No, yeah, the tongue of the snake, yes, but like on the actual neck, there's lines. You just have to take my word for it. It's not showing up very well on camera, but they're there. But Jimmy's not going to care. Jimmy can hardly see, let alone see details like that. So I'm not worried about it. Guy's blind as a bat. His glasses look like the lens on the fucking Hubble telescope, so. That was a pain in the butt. I'm glad it's over though. Thank God it's done. He's been hounding me about these for weeks. Let's close that. Let me pull up my keep to-do list. I hate this because here's what we're gonna do, right? So we go into the to-do list. I see, oh, there's Jimmy's mugs. We can check that off. But then I have to add 38 pieces, 6-foot metal bars. Ugh. Like, we get rid of one and then we add one that's worse. So there are those. Do you guys want to finish that coin that we started on Friday Live Day? We can finish the other side of that coin if you're interested. My wife is here. Hi, wife. Keith says yes. We want to do the coin. Miranda says yes, like she cares. Okay, we'll do the coin. Back to the desktop. An old man in the grocery store told my wife that she looked huge a couple days ago. Don't ever say that to a woman, fellas. It's not what they want to hear. You wouldn't think I'd have to tell that to people, but here we are. So, our coin. I have a file for this. Let's open. I don't remember her name. I'm gonna have to go look. I'll be right back. So I actually too, I have to, the whole rotary nonsense is still set up. So let's just tear that down real quick. Hello. Picking up or dropping off? Which order?
Those rocks.
Oh, the rocks. Hi.
How are you?
What's up? Right here for you. Okay, here we go. Alright, so first one came out okay. Decent contrast.
Not great though, is it?
Not great. The second one came out fabulous. I really like that. The first one, just I tried to get it dark. I ran it like 4 or 5 times. Each pass took 45 minutes, and it just would not darken up for me. So it's just the way. But this one came out really, really good. I'm super happy with that. You can see everybody's eyes. You can see the outline is much better, and this plate will fade over time. So this location of the roads and the Yeah. You know, not a ton. You could try, if you wanted to, you could try like a spray paint and then sand off the top layer of rock. If you have like compressed air or something, after you do this, so you spray it, you let it dry completely. And when it's dry, just go through with like hand sandpaper and you just sand off that top layer of rock and then blow out the rock that gets into the grate, and you should have like a nice black left over. So spray this with black spray paint, like Krylon. Yeah, the whole thing.
Or just this.
I mean, you know, that area, right? So we're not masking it off. So you spray that with black spray paint, okay? And then you go in, and what you do is you sand this away. And you don't have to get too very much of it, just that top layer to get the paint off. And because this is so much deeper than the surface, you're not going to sand it
all the little details and stuff, because all those little details are still going to be filled with paint. So they'll be black, right, on that tan surface. So that can really help. You just want to be careful. There's two things you want to be careful. You don't want to sand too soon after spraying it, because then it gets tacky and it messes with the sand. And the second thing you don't want to do is, well, it's not more that you don't want to do it, but after you sand it, all of the engraving spots are going to be filled with the dust from sanding the stone. So just a little bit of compressed air, a leaf blower, quartz grate, whatever, and just blow that dust out, and you have like a nice black left over. Yep. You could technically do the same thing over here, but I don't think it would look as nice because the rock is so much darker. So I'd probably say you're best off just hitting this with a garden hose and calling it a day, because that'll look really nice. And again, the crystallization in here will erode over time, so you'll be left with a really nice impression once you get it outside. Yep. Now, did we make this stuff the last time you were here?
No, you said we do it all.
Okay, we'll do it all. That sounds good. So let's just call it, we give you a little discount. You sound a little disappointed, so
Well,
we'll take a little off the bill for
it's
you.
not your fault.
Well, still, I like people to be happy with what they get. So let's just say for everything, how about 100 even? Does that sound all right? So let's take 108 after tax for you. Do you want the cash or the card? Would you like a copy of the receipt?
It is a good learning experience, so I didn't know that this color would be as good.
It's hard with stone because every stone engraves different because their mineral compositions are so different.
Yeah.
Even if you get two stones from the same riverbed that look identical.
So you wouldn't even be able to look at the stone and say it's going to be good or not until
No,
you
I can tell
go
you
through it.
what. I can tell you what definitely won't look good. So like you come in, like we were talking, like the marbled stuff with the clear mix of metals and different minerals inside of the stone. Those never come out good. So I always have people like
The ones that have multicolor.
yeah, multi-color. Yeah, because there's so many different minerals. They all engrave differently, and then you get like a really lopsided kind of looking mess of the thing. With these, it's more consistent, so we're getting the same mark across the whole thing. It's hard to tell what that mark is going to be before you do it. The alternative, of course, is sandblasting, but these would have been $300 a piece sandblasted. So, and that looks beautiful. It's very, very nice, but it's just it's crazy expensive, and they take like a month and a half to go back. So, that's the other
And
end.
we're just trying to do something nice for them.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
All right.
All right.
Very
Would
good.
you like to hand out with these?
Let's see what
Yeah. All right.
Thanks.
If you need anything else, give me a holler.
All right, thanks so much.
You got it.
All right, guys. Hi. Hello. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna open this lady's folder. Mel, M-E-L, Melanie, gotcha. And let's see where we left off. So always with you, that's the one side we did. So I'm just opening our last EZD because we had our sizing about right. And I want to make sure we use that again. So here it is. But this time it's going to be a little bit different. So let's ungroup this. Let's get rid of this hatch. We don't need the hatch there. And then we can get rid of this text because we definitely aren't going to use the text again. Right? Ungroup. One more time. Select the text. Perfect. So the first thing we really need here is going to be the outline. We can cut the outline, group this stuff, paste the outline, cut the group, and light this up, and we'll try to get this as center as possible using just the red light. So let's go back over to the fiber table again. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I'm going to turn off all the lights so that we can actually see what we're doing here. We gotta focus up because our outline is huge right now. Actually, honestly, it's a little too dark. Light this up just a little bit better here. The other thing we should probably check is to make sure that this is right side up underneath. We want them to, they won't be perfect, but at least close. Let's take a peek here. See, that wouldn't be very good. So let's try to at least get it close. Something like that. Okay, that looks really good. And let's mark this. I think we just need to come one step to the right. All right, that looks perfect. Now we will import our Old Lady Poker Night file. We got a couple things to do here. So there's our file with the outline of the head. We're going to need that. Let's paste back in our card suit thing, and we'll modify align center to our center line. So that looks good. And then all we need is just her relief here, her silhouette. So we're going to grab that. And we're also going to modify align center. I know you guys can't see here. So I've just centered the suit stuff to the outline, and now I've centered the head from our file to the outline. So there's that. And this should be perfect as is. Shouldn't have to do anything else to this, so we can grab all of it. Let's group it, hatch it, and we want snaky and hatch. Nope, I think we'll do the same thing we did last time. So we'll do, let's disable hatch 2, disable hatch 3. So there's snaky. We'll do, I don't remember. I think it was like 15-degree increments, and we were going to do 60 passes, right, for auto rotate. So that should be good. Our line distance is good. We're feeling really good about this now. Did you keep the other side with the ghosting? Yeah, I'm just leaving it alone. I don't want to mess with it at this point, so we're just going to leave that alone. We have our steel deep engrave setting here still, 1390/37. And we're going to come down here and set our total number of passes to 60, which is, I believe, where we ended on the other side, but we can check it for depth. And we should be good to go. I mean, we did most of the heavy lifting last time we worked on this project. So we should be more or less set at this point. So, I don't know. Let's try to run it, guys. I mean, they're right. We don't, there's not much else to do. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to try to line up our exhaust so I don't have to breathe too much steel. And now we wait. Those weird pauses in between sections are odd, right? Just taking a second to answer a couple Discord questions. Blah, blah, blah. This all seems normal. Nothing particularly notable in the Discord. We're just waiting. We're on past 14 of 60 right now. Steve Barden asks, for how long and how hard have you been pushing the same fiber laser, Alex? And have you had to replace any parts on it compared to the CO2? I've been a fan of Mactron since I ordered my Mactron fiber laser, and I've only been doing the channel for 2 months. So before I started the channel, well, I guess it's been like 3 months now, maybe 3.5. We've been doing this for a while. Before I didn't really recommend lasers to anybody because I didn't talk to lasers about anybody. But since the channel has started, I've definitely been recommending Mactron. I've owned my Mactron for 2 years and change at this point, and I've never had to replace a single thing on it, and it's never needed a moment of maintenance. So, I still recommend them. Also, if you look at the way they do their cabling, if you look at how they treat their fiber optic cables inside the machine, if you look at how their machines are assembled, they really do a better job than the no-name brands. So, I really do love Mactron, and I stand behind their product. I don't recommend anything I don't personally believe in or use on a regular basis. So, I don't know. There's that. Dean says, hey Alex, since you did me the favor and did that one tumbler on the fiber, I'm going to send you 2 tumblers. Hooray! One Yeti in stainless and one Arctic in graphite. That sounds awesome, man. I can't wait to try it out. We can definitely work on those on the Patreon channel. Yeah, Dean. One thing we can do with that stainless Yeti is try to do like a Z mark, like a rotary Z mark would be really nice. Rick is asking if we are muted. I don't know what you mean. Nope, I don't think so. Nobody should be muted. I'm not muted. I love our little, guys, I'm still not over it, our little fiber laser setup here with all the settings and stuff around the camera. I'm really, really happy with that. I'm so glad that we took the time to do that on Friday because I think it looks really good. Oops. Can't do that, though. I have to leave this over here. That messes it up. Dean, you sent me the sanding sponges? Oh, dude, thank you so much. Yeah, I had no idea who those came from. I've never seen a sanding sponge in my entire life. So I was very confused. I didn't even know that they existed or that you could sand with them, which is pretty exciting. So definitely looking forward to giving those a shot. Does EasyCAD show you an estimated time to completion prior to starting a job? Not really, no. You can run a single pass of something. And with that pass, you can extrapolate how long the job is going to take. So right now we can see that the each pass is taking, it looks like 20 seconds. And we are running 60 passes, so 20 times 60 is what? 30, I don't know. The two is 120. I don't know, guys. I can't math like this right now. Let's pull up the calculator. So 20 seconds per pass times 60 passes is 1,200 seconds divided by 60 seconds to get minutes. So this should take about 20 minutes. we'll probably run this 60 pass thing twice, because when we did the other side, we did 60 passes, but it was 60 passes with 2 hatches each. This is 60 passes with 1 hatch each, so this side's going to be half the depth. So we'll likely have to run this 2 times. I haven't seen either of those things, Steve, but you should either put that in the... You know where you should put that? If you're on the Patreon only community forum, I would post it on there. That's where I would like to see it, so I could take a look at it. Not the Discord, because it's going to get lost on the Discord. But if you could post that on the community forum, I would appreciate it, because I'd like to take a look at that. Maybe in the design software section, Steve, would be a good place for that. The design software section, not in any of the subcategories, just like right in the main category there for design software. That would be a great place to stash that, so that I can remember to look at it later, if you can think about it. We've officially broken the $3,500 barrier on the Patreon. It's fucking insane. It's looking really good right now, from what I can see through the ridiculous infrared reflection. I just went to look at it with the glasses, and it looks really good, so I think we're doing great. I do think we'll have to run this again, though, because again, it's getting half as many hatch passes this time as it got last time, so. Oh, on and on it goes, guys. We're getting there. The hardest part of this is going to be lining the photo up with the silhouette that we've created. It's not even going to be the deep engraving part. Engraving this all is going to work fine, but we still have to engrave the photo onto the coin itself. And I don't have good steel photo settings yet, so that's another thing we'll be adding to our parameter list today. It's the last pass of the first run. We'll inspect it, and then we'll run it again. Alright, so far so good. It looks fine, but yeah, definitely lacking on the depth factor there a little bit. So I'm going to reset this 60. We're going to come back to 0. We're going to run it again, and then we'll do a couple passes not snake so that we get rid of those weird lines. Switching to unidirectional or even bidirectional will fix those lines, but I'm not worried about them right now because we're getting faster depth with snake for now. So we'll leave them for now, and then we'll engrave them away with a unidirectional hatch at the very end. As you can see, the direction of the line changes every time we do a pass. So they're not very deep, so I'm confident we'll be able to remove them at the end. Right now we're just trying to obtain our depth. That's all that really matters at this point. Monroe Laser, this is Alex. How can I help you? Yeah, sure. I have a couple. I don't have like a huge like selection of them in stock, but we have some just kind of hanging around, yeah, that you could like dig through. How many are you looking for? Like 3? So, I mean, probably looking at like 15 bucks a piece, including the tags. Yep. Brent asks, Alex, are you planning to fill this coin? Do you mean with like enamel or epoxy? No. We're going to do it just like we did the other side, the Friday Live Day side. Nice and simple. No, we'll do a steel white finish inside the body, and we will do we'll do an anneal on the raised areas. Yeah, you should go back and watch it, specifically the end where we finish it up, because we do some really cool stuff, and that's going to dictate how we do this side of the coin, because the other side of the coin is already finished. Oh, nice, dude. Well, this will be perfect for you then. $2 each. Am I overpaying? No, dude. That sounds like a pretty fair deal. For what you're getting. Hmm. $51 of $60 on the second run, guys. We're getting there. This is about to get really interesting for people that are interested in doing photos on steel. We're really going to be taking this to the next level. We've got 20 minutes to wrap this up before I have to go. It looks like we've just about achieved the depth that we have on the other side too, which is great. Alright, done. So, next, we gotta move right along here because we're running out of time. We need to do a couple passes with our unidirectional hatch to get rid of those ugly lines. So watch as these disappear. We're probably gonna do, I'd say, I don't know, 4 total hatches. We can do these at 90 degrees. Should make pretty quick work of this. I'm sure it would be significantly faster on a CNC. I don't need to own one to tell you that. I mean, if we're just talking about fastest coin production methods, casting them would probably be the fastest. Yeah, I'm sure that doing them on a mill would probably be the fastest, or stamping. Yeah, sure. Stamping's a good suggestion, Kyle. I mean, if you're going to cast them, you still have to make the cast, right? So it's all really involved. The nice thing about doing it with a laser is that the only thing you need is a laser. So, got that going for you. This would also probably go a lot faster if I had a smaller lens. This is a small enough coin, we could do it with a 50mm lens. A 50mm lens. And we're using a 110 right now, so it would be significantly faster with a 50. And also, this is a 30-watt laser. It would be much, much, much faster with like a 50 or a 60 M7. Oh man, the 60 M7 would chew through this thing so fast with its 2.0 millijoule output. So we're definitely like worst case scenarioing this right now. Alright, great. We're still moving quick here, guys. We have a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. So, back over here on the desktop. We're just gonna delete our hatch. So let's get rid of that. And we're going to ungroup this and remove our outline. And group it back up and hatch this. And we're just going to do like 2 passes on this. This time we're going to uncheck our auto rotate, apply. Same over here, enable, apply. -45 on that one. 45 over here. So 45, -45. Let's get these both set to unidirectional. And just make our line distances match. Alright, so that's good. So just 1 pass of this just to clean the surface of the coin off. Come on now. There we go. Alright, here we go. Just a quick clean. Whew, that's a lot of power. Look at it go. 15 minutes to finish this. We might go over just a little bit. I'm going to try to stop this. I think 1 pass is good enough. It's taking too long and we got to move on if we want to get this photo done. Come on, baby, let's go. Alright, good enough. And now we're going to hit it really quick with our anneal. Let's sort by name here. I'm not even going to switch the camera back and forth. We don't have time. Steel and so I'm doing steel anneal general. Last time we did this, we brought the frequency up to 350 to get it nice and black. But before we do that, we should probably really do a steel white finish. Super quick steel white finish here. is a nice clean finish for our anneal to sit on. And we're going to anneal it. So again, just going to do the standard steel anneal, but we're going to change the frequency to 350. Alright, here we go. We're racing now. We're racing. So steel anneal general, frequency to 350 please, and mark. And this should give us that same black that we have on the other side of the coin. I don't think it's technically black. I think it's like the world's darkest navy blue, but it does the trick. Yeah, color. We're going for like black right now. We want Z mark without having to refocus, which is what we experimented with on the Friday Live Day stream. We were trying to get it as black as possible without having to refocus, because for a true Z mark you have to refocus, but if I refocus it's gonna offset our existing engraving, because the size of the engraving is going to change, and we can't have the size of the engraving changing, so we have to be able to get as close as we can to Z without defocusing, and we found that raising the frequency helps us get there. So again, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect black, and another time we can try to dial that in more, but it'll get us really close. And it, more importantly, will match the other side of the coin, which we've already completed. So So here's the game plan. I'm not going to do the steel. So the inside of the coin, the deep part, we cleaned up with a steel white finish on the opposite side. We're not doing that today, right this second. I'll do it later, but we're not doing it right now because we don't have time. We don't have the time to sit and wait for it to go. And I really want you guys to see the photo part of this process. So we're going to just jump right to the photo. And then I'll come back in and I'll do the steel white finish later, because you guys can go look at the Friday Live Day if you want to see what the other side of this coin looks like finished. But I really want to show you the photo part. That's the difficult part. We're nearly there. I really need this to go faster. We can go about 15 minutes over without me missing Felix's bus. So we have probably in total 20 minutes, 23 minutes, I guess, from right this second. And God knows how long the photo is going to take. So I think we might even use this anneal to do our photo details. We'll talk about that in a minute. Come on, baby. All right. Stay with me here, guys. We're going really fast right now. Going really quick. Let's wait for this marking to finish. And boom. So we need this, right? We need this face. So we can't get rid of that. So we're gonna ungroup. We're gonna ungroup this. We're gonna grab our outline. We're gonna cut it. All of this can go. That's all done. We can paste our outline back in. Really quick, we're going to hatch this. Same hatch. We're gonna lay down our base. Steel white finish. We're gonna run one more base pass on this. Here it is. Should come up here in just a second. There we go. Okay. So this is our, now we're doing our photo. It's photo time here. Alright, white base is down. Back on the desktop. Ungroup. Delete the hatch. We've got our outline. This is what we're going to use to line up our bitmap. We're going to import a photo. There it is. Here's the photo we prepped on the Friday Live Day stream. So that's what we need. We're going to open that up. We're going to center it. Let's zoom out here. Dear God, that's gigantic. Let's bring this size down. Let's bring the curve in front of the bitmap. So that's the next thing. We want our curve in front. Oh, it's really hard to see. But no worries. We're going to get it. We're going to get it as close as we can. I think that looks pretty good right there, okay? We're going to remove our outline. Don't want to mark that again. And here is our bitmap photo. We're going to select it, extend, disable mark low gray point is on, so that's good. So we shouldn't have to worry about any overlap. For settings, we can try it with our anneal setting really quick. And we'll see if that works. I don't know if that's going to work. Anneal is really heat dependent, not dot dependent. So this might not work. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to try something else. But if it does work, it's going to look really nice. So we're going to jump back over to the fiber view. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. And we're going to mark. Alright, good, not great. What if we double up? Does that make it darker? Not really. The last thing we're going to try is just raising our power, our max power, because right now with our pixel power adjustment, our max power is 30. So let's turn the heat up, okay? 80 power. We're getting there, guys. We're looking a lot better, but we're not quite there. Let's go to 90 power. We're gonna drop our speed to 150. Here we go. I have to go look at this in person. Let's see what it looks like. It's definitely not giving us the anneal the way that it was giving it to us on the vector. But let's go look at it. I don't like it. It's looking real blue. So we're gonna abandon this, and we're gonna come down to our brass black deep setting. We're gonna use this instead. Let's try this. One pass here. Let's see how we do with this. The big difference between what we were just doing with the anneal and this is the frequency. The brass black deep setting drops our frequency down to 50. That looks much better. We might even have time to finish with the steel white, guys. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, now we gotta come back to the desktop. We're gonna back out to our main vector, if we can go that. I don't even know if we can undo that far, but we're gonna try. Come on, give me the outline back. There it is. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Group, hatch. Okay. 1, 2, 45, and negative 45. We're going to come into our parameter library. We're going to select steel white finish. Not slate white, steel white. Steel white. Boom. And mark. Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. You'll notice the laser beam over the face on the photo. That's just my red dot, because my red dot is always on. It's not actually doing anything to that part of the coin. It's just the red dot. That's it, guys. You're getting to see the whole thing right now. You guys are going to see the finished coin. No, that's what the steel white finish is for. Watch, the steel white finish is going to push that dust at the top of the coin there. It's going to push it. See how it kind of pushes it along? Awesome, J-Mac. I'll have to check that out after I pick up Felix. Post something about it in the community forum. That's where I want to see that. Put it in off topic. I'll create like a PC subcategory or something. But post it in off topic so that I can see it. Boom, done. We're done. All right, come on, camera. Don't fail me now. Come on, camera. Guys, this looks so awesome. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Come on. There we go. Alright, let me get the lights on. Alright guys, final coin. Okay, so here's the side from the Friday live day. Okay, so that's what we did on Friday. You can see it's got a fairly good depth to it. The camera's not doing it justice as usual, but that's pretty freaking deep. So there's side 1. All right, and here is side 2. That's what we just completed. And that, of course, looks very, very good. I think Tony would be proud. Look at that, right? Only like at the weird, like the down angle there, you kind of get like a little bit of that steel weirdness, but at most viewing angles, this is perfect. This looks really good. Will I lacquer this or leave it as is? I probably won't lacquer it. This side we did 3-in-1 oil, so I will likely do 3-in-1 oil to this as well. I don't have time for that right this second, but that's probably the direction this is going to go. Will be 3-in-1, just a standard 3-in-1 oil coat on that. But check that out, man. I mean, that's, yeah. So you just like at a couple weird angles, it looks a little weird, but this is being directly lit by studio lights too. You can't really see that in person unless you just get it to like kind of just the right spot. It shows up like that, but even dead on in normal lighting, that's clean, man. There it is, guys. Final look at the coin there, and I'll call her and have her come pick this up really soon. Not before I get a couple photos. We're gonna need at least one for the thumbnail. So that's it. That concludes the coin journey. I'm really happy with this. The only thing that would make this any better is if I could hook this up on the rotary somehow and like rotate it so that I could do like the ridges on the edge would be kind of neat. But you know, for the most part, I mean, whatever. We're here, right? So there it is. That's that. That's the coin, guys. And I have to cut you right off because I have to go pick Felix off the bus. But thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Patreon live stream. Please continue to support the channel. I really appreciate everybody who's helped us get this far. We are doing really, really well on the Patreon. We're almost to our full-time goal, which is really, really cool. Yeah, that's what she wanted, the poker chip. She wanted the poker chip kind of feel. So, yeah, again, thank you so much for supporting the channel, guys. I really appreciate you. And we'll be back. We should be doing another one tomorrow, okay? And I'll be available after 3 o'clock today on the Discord and on the Patreon-only community. Go make one post on the Patreon-only community. I really want to get that kind of kick-started. I think there's going to be a lot of value in being active over there. So let's try to get in that habit. So everybody, right now, go make one post on the Patreon community. That's my challenge to you. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you all. And we will do this again tomorrow. We've got to get those big, gigantic bars done, so that'll be a hell of a time. We'll do it together. See you guys.